The pandemic disrupted the college experience for many members of Gen Z, robbing them of traditional graduation ceremonies last year. They're now ready to enter the workforce, but they're not taking advice from just anybody. They're taking it one TikTok at a time from people their own age. Here's Sabeel Marcellus now with this installment of Career Control. Sabeel?
That's right. So in this series, Career Control, I usually bring you the scoop from insiders, but this time I've got one with me right here. I want to introduce Julian Para. He's TikTok career content creator. And Julian, on social media, it's often all about the likes and the followers. And last I checked, you had over 200K followers and over 2 million likes. Welcome, Julian.
Thank you so much for having me.
So TikTok is arguably the hottest platform for Gen Z. So what made you want to give career advice instead of doing, say, pranks or dancing on TikTok?
Yeah, absolutely. I could definitely share a little bit more about what inspired me to get started on TikTok, right? So a little bit more about me. I recently got my Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from Babson College, small entrepreneurship school about 20 minutes west of Boston. I'm also currently an offering manager for IBM's Enterprise Performance Management team. And as you mentioned, I also am a career development content creator. So during my time at Babson, I worked at my school Center for Career Development. So for 3 years. So each semester I would meet with hundreds of students to help them with their resumes, their LinkedIn profiles, their cover letters, and I would give just general career advice. And it was through these experiences that working alongside these career coaches and applying these lessons learned to my own professional development journey, all that really solidified my interest in mentorship and just professional development in general, right? So that's one aspect. Another aspect is fast forward to March 2020 when college students were being sent back home because of the pandemic. It was around that time I started learning about how millions of people were losing their jobs because of the pandemic, and I was fortunate enough to still have a job offer lined up for after graduation. So I found myself with a little bit of extra free time and just trying to figure out what to do with that extra free time. It was during
Julian
that time.
Para, you definitely have been using this extra free time doing this career advice. So let's get into it. Let's show some of your TikToks. So let's start with job interviews, where you play both roles, both the interviewer and the interviewee in the interview process. This clip has gotten over hundreds of thousands of likes.
This is how to answer, why should we hire you perfectly in your next job interview? Let's get it. So why should we hire you? I believe I'd be a great fit for this role because the job posting mentioned that candidates should have strong sales skills. My previous experiences at Company X demonstrated my ability to exceed sales expectations by developing and maintaining strong relationships with my clients and putting their needs first. Second, I pride myself on mentorship, which I aim to bring to this role as well. I have extensive leadership experience training my sales teams in the past to ensure that they continue to grow their skills, which makes for a more collaborative environment.
Julian, why is this resonating with your audience?
Absolutely. So I always approach my pieces of content in the same way. So in the first few seconds, I'll tell viewers exactly what they're going to learn in the next 30 to 60 seconds. And then in the rest of the video, I'll highlight the most important, most relevant, most valuable key takeaways, tips, and tricks that have helped me personally, as well as people I've mentored land jobs and interviews and things of that nature. I only give the most valuable information needed. If we were to analyze this piece of content for now, right, me giving a tangible example of how I would respond to that typical interview question just allows viewers to edit, use that as a framework, and just be able to apply it to their own personal situation in an easy to digest way. So I think that's why it's resonating.
And Julian, is there a risk that TikTok career advice in general, by possibly oversimplifying the advice, could possibly discourage or demotivate TikTok users who would like to take this advice and find that they can't necessarily quickly apply it to real world situations. Is that a concern for you?
Not necessarily. So I think the real value with like Gen Z giving this type of advice is that, let's say I'm an 18-year-old and I'm seeing this 20-year-old working in a role or in a company that I'm interested in. I, as the 18-year-old, see that that goal is that much more achievable because it's just easier to relate to someone who's that same age as you. So I see that as one aspect, and also Gen Zers may be better suited to speak to utilizing emerging technologies or updated resources that have helped them in their careers as well. So I feel like with all those factors combined, that's not necessarily a concern for me.
Understood. You are very much focused on giving career advice to people your own age, to Gen Z. Julian Para, great to have you on. Thanks so much.